fans, it's time for BoardCheck, Impact Media's weekly drive through the neutral zone into Ovechkin's office. We're going top shelf because we are going to talk about the NHL. We're going to talk about the ECHL. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Gladiators, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Nashville Predators. I'm your host, Jeremy, the Impact York, even busted out the old school shirt. This was our original shirt here. We still have these, by the way. These are really cool. If you want a shirt, hit us up. Hit us up. We'll talk. We'll eventually post them on the site and things like that. The original shirt. Working on some new ones. May just reinvent these. Who knows? But now that cord is untangled. We can get on to the show. I want to tell you guys, this show is the most unique show that we do here at Impact Media. And part of it is the ways that you can be a part of this show. You can email the show, 3endzone@gmail.com. You can do that for any of our shows. You can look for us on Facebook. You can do that as well. You can follow me on any of the social medias, including Twitter, Triller, TikTok, and Instagram at TheImpact99. Once again, you can do that for any of the shows. But for BoardCheck only, when you go to YouTube, at BoardCheck99 is the channel just for BoardCheck. You will only find our hockey video content on there. And on Twitter, at BoardCheck, are all the ways that you can, or those are, it has us on Twitter. I say it has us on YouTube because this was our original show here at Impact Media, and all the other stuff came later. So those are all the fun ways that you can be a part of this show. Fun show. We will not obviously, sometimes we don't. We're going to start by talking NHL. Lots of stuff going on in the NHL. We'll start with the teams, and then we'll get into the big stories happening as 4 different professional players are stepping away from the ice for a couple different reasons, and we'll tell you why. Obviously, we're going to finish. I don't want to say obviously so much, but then we're going to move on to the Gladiators. We're going to finish with a fun story, and at the very end of, or before we talk Gladiators, we're gonna, let's see, when are we gonna do this? Better yet, we're going to do the entire show. When we get to the end, I'm going to make mention of some special video clips that will finish the show. And then you will have reached the end of the show. That's the way we're going to do it tonight. I'm going to put the video clips at the end. I think you guys will enjoy them. They were a lot of fun to be a part of, and it will have a lot more to do with the story that I will tell later in the show. But first, let's talk about the Nashville Predators, because as we talk about the Predators and the Hurricanes, I think it's safe to say that the Hurricanes are playing slightly below expectations, because expectations were pretty high. I would say the Nashville Predators are playing a little above expectations because, well, the expectations were kind of low. So they're both kind of in that middle bracket right now. Actually, Nashville's, I think, a little bit on the upper side. They're doing a little better, but there's reasons for that. Nashville has been fairly healthy. They are getting solid production, even on road games from UC Saros and their veterans. They are getting a lot of, the veterans are like the pillars. And you need things like a fence post. Let's think about like a fence post. So your veterans are like fence posts. They can stand there strong, but without the panels in between them, they're just a bunch of poles in the ground, right? Right. They can only go so far. So you got to fill in the gaps, and fill in the gaps for a lot of these younger players. They're doing a fantastic job doing that, and I think that is a lot of why Nashville is off to a pretty decent start. I would give them a pretty decent start. It's not the greatest start. It's definitely not awful. And like I said, I think they're just right now they're just a hair better than Carolina If they played, might be a different story. But Nashville doing some really, really good things, including, let's go back to last Thursday where they were in Seattle. They unfortunately come out on the losing end of that one, 4-2. Your goals, Tommy Novak and Roman Yossi, with the goals in the losing effort, and of course, UC Saros with 27 saves on 31 attempts. Not bad. I mean, giving up 4 goals sucks, but it's, I still like the effort, because then 2 days later, they go to Edmonton. What do they do in Edmonton? They smash McDavid and crew. Just smash them 5-2. Your goals in that one. Philip Forsberg had a goal. Tommy Novak had a goal. And then Ryan O'Reilly, O'Reilly, gets a hat trick on the road right in front of Connor McDavid. What a great place to do it. Lankinen gets the 33 save night, only gave up 2 goals. He did a fantastic job. They get the big road win. Now, they, I think, just puck dropped just a couple minutes ago. If they haven't already, they're in Calgary to face the Flames. I said puck drop on that one was 9 p.m. That was just a couple minutes ago. And then this Thursday, they are going to continue the Canadian trip. They're going to be in Winnipeg versus the Jets. Like I said, that's on Thursday. That is a 8 p.m. puck drop on that one. That's going to be a big game for them. Maybe that one will be on national television. That would be a fun game. Check local listings. I believe Bally for a lot of Nashville fans, and for us down here in Atlanta, it could be Bally. It could be half a dozen different things. And then this Saturday, they will be back at home at the Bridgestone Arena to face the Arizona Coyotes. 8 p.m. puck drop on that one. Fun stuff. Definitely fun stuff. Like I said, that's not a lot news-wise going on in the world of the Nashville Predators. Of course, besides listening to this podcast, the Predators official podcast, they do a fantastic job of staying on top of a lot of the things. And also, if you want to listen to them after you listen to us, that would be great. Let's move on to the Hurricanes, because the Hurricanes their news is going to include one of the 4 players that are stepping away from action for a minute, and I will tell you why in a few short minutes. But first, last Thursday, they were in New York. The Canes went up against those pesky Rangers. They're better than the Rangers, by the way. They actually outshot the Rangers by 1 shot on goal, but they also lost by 1 shot on goal. 2-1 was your total in that one. The lone goal by Seth Jarvis and Frederick Anderson with 24 saves in the losing effort. And then Saturday, it was Saturday rather, right? Yeah, Saturday they were in Long Island to face the New York Islanders. They win 4-3 in overtime. Your goals in that one. Jalen Chatfield gets his first of the year. Dmitry Orlov, guy's going to be magic. You guys are going to like him. Jesper Kotkaniemi. And in overtime, how about Sebastian Aho? Sebastian Aho, he's your star. You have a lot of stars, actually, but he's one of the better ones. Getting the overtime winner. Antti Ranta with 22 saves in the win. Upcoming schedule for the Canes, and then we'll get into some Canes news, because there's a little bit of it. And it's not amazing. Definitely, it's not amazing. But tonight at 7 was the puck drop on that one. I do not have a score update yet. They are hosting the Buffalo Sabres over in Raleigh. On Friday, they will travel to Florida to face the Panthers. 7 p.m. puck drop on that one. These are all Eastern times. I think it's Central times that I announced to you on Nashville. And then Saturday, they are going to be in Tampa to face the Lightning, 7 p.m. puck drop on that one. Shout out to friend of the show, Matt Ridgway, who is one of the biggest Tampa Bay Lightning fans I know, outside of his children, who might be even bigger fans than him. But shout out to him. He works in NASCAR. His season just came to a close over the weekend. Matt, you're doing great things. Appreciate you being a good friend and a good friend of this show as well. And I will excuse the fact that you are a Lightning fan. And, I just like to mess with you about that. Maybe we'll get him on sometime. Matt, reach out to us. We'll reach out to Matt. We'll get him on. He knows a lot of hockey. Schedule there. Let's talk. It's unfortunate, but now we have about Frederik Andersen. Frederik Andersen, during a routine medical check, these things happen all the time in the league. Routine medical check, something didn't look right. So they look into it a little bit. Turns out he's having a clotting of the blood issue. That's not a fancy way of saying blood clots, but he's having some. It's not bad, but blood clots aren't good in general for a lot of reasons. So he's going to be sidelined indefinitely until those clear up. Those could clear up tomorrow. They could clear up in 2 weeks. It could be the end of the year. I don't know. It's just something that they're just going to have to figure out. Just something they're going to have to figure out. But obviously, until then, you got Kochetkov, who will get called up, and Ronta. Kochetkov would more than likely be the starter, I would imagine. So we'll definitely get into that. So we have something going on with the screen. What is it? Okay? Sassy took care of that. Appreciate that, Sassy. But we wish Frederik the best. We wish him the absolute best as it's a scary moment, Scary moment, definitely, for sure. Trying to pull up the Glad schedule, and it's not wanting to pull up on my screen here, so we're gonna try to get that. But anyway, like I said, with Carolina, the start that they had, fans, think about this. Let's not, I think Mike and Shane on their podcast on Canes Cast. By the way, Canes Cast is fantastic as well. After you listen to this show, go listen to Canes Cast if you're a Canes fan. But where was it? Oh, besides, they brought up that some fans, probably not fans of this show, because you guys are great, but you probably know some people that were kind of like that Dr. Pepper commercial where one play happens and everybody flips out. Well, the Canes start off on a kind of up and down weird spot, and everybody freaks out. Like no real reason there to flip out, but instead people do. That's fine. It's definitely fine. But the reason that start happened was you had the injuries earlier. You had Teravainen got dinged up, Stretch got dinged up. A lot of your bigger stars and even some of your role players got dinged up. Now they're getting healthy. Now you're putting it together. So, just bear with them. It's a long season, guys. It's a really, really long season. And the Canes are going to be fine. The Canes are going to be fine. I still think they are the favorite to win the Lord Stanley Trophy. And There we go. Getting that pull up. I still think they're the favorite to win Lord Stanley's trophy. And I still think that any team that is going to try to come through the East is going to have to come through Carolina. And I feel good about the chances. I really do. Let's get into some NHL news. Nicholas Backstrom, who has played 17 seasons or so, something like that, is stepping away from the Capitals because of injuries. I said stepping away. He's not using the R word. We'll get into who's doing that in a second. But Backstrom is going to step away from injuries. He's going to try to heal up. He's going to try to get better. He's more than likely going to come back. You know, in no way is he saying he's not coming back, because then he would have just retired. But he's going to take some time away. He's going to heal up his injuries. And I think in the long run, he's going to be a lot better off. So we wish Nicholas Backstrom all the best as well. The Capitals will figure it out without you somehow. But until then, wish you all the best. People who did retire. How about Paul Stastny calls it a year after he played 16, 17 seasons. He ended up with 822 points, which is the 20th most by a U.S.-born player. Thanks, Paul Stastny, for all the amazing things you did for the game. And then we heard the bigger news. Jumbo Joe Thornton, has decided to retire. He was drafted #1 overall in 1997 by the Boston Bruins. He is 12th in the NHL with 1,539 points, which is 430 goals, 1,109 assists. He's 6th in games played with 1,714. He is 7th overall in assists. He played for Florida, Toronto, San Jose, and Boston. He actually played 15 years in San Jose. I'm a big Jumbo Joe fan. Shout out to Cody Elias, who is a big San Jose fan. We're gonna have some guests on soon, guys. We're not this week. You're gonna see some guests here soon. Hopefully, we'll get Cody on as well. Big Sharks fan. But then, of course, Jumbo Joe also played in Boston. He had 134 points, 32 goals, and 102 assists in 187 playoff games. That's pretty good. It's almost a point a game. That's hard to do in the era he played. Nowadays, it's a little bit easier. For the Sharks, he is first in assists with 804. He is second in points with 1,055. Third in games played, 1,104. And fourth in goals with 251. Jumbo Joe, heck of a player, man. Heck of a player. And then lastly, I'm not sure what the Ottawa Senators are doing. I'm not sure they know what they're doing. And here's why. I don't know if these events are related. I feel like they are. But they had their GM, Pierre Dorion, resign. Steve Stais is going to be the interim GM. I believe he was the assistant. They are 4-4-0 this year. They missed the playoffs the last 6 seasons, and they are going to forfeit a first-round pick in either 24, 25, or 26 because of their role in the 2021 trade of Evgeny Dadonov to the Vegas Golden Knights. It also involves Anaheim. I'll be honest, it sounds like a mess to me. Is what it sounds like. It sounds like a mess. But that's all the NHL news. So let's jump into the world of the ECHL and the Atlanta Gladiators, who are off to a 8-0 start. 8-0. South Carolina thought they could do something with them. Nothing for them. Nothing for them. It was on the back-to-backs. They got them on Saturday and then Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for story time with the Impact, baby. Storytime. I was up in the press box for Sunday's game. I was just a couple seats over from Liam Godimer, who was the first guest on this show this year, a couple months back, preseason to talk Atlanta Gladiators hockey. Just a couple seats over there. Met some other cool people that you may see and hear from very soon as well. Um, that is quite the view. That is quite the view from up there in the press box. Had a great time. Was actually early enough because it was Georgia Day, as UGA and Georgia Tech had a game at 12:30, and then the Glads, of course, played at 4. In that one, Georgia wins 9-0. It was closer than that. It's just Georgia. I would say 5 of those goals were solid play. 2 of those were pretty good bounces that UGA got that Georgia Tech didn't, and 2 of those are pro level goals that I don't know why they weren't on ESPN. They should have been on the top 10 and been in the top 5. There was the second goal that UGA scored. It's like when you put every cheat code into NHL 96 here or something. You could have put 2 goalies in that, and I don't think they stopped that. That goal was, I mean, it lit up the press box. We were jumping around, hooting and hollering. That was, man, that was just a smoker. But Georgia Tech played a solid game. They just couldn't score. UGA was scoring anytime they wanted to, and they were able to find a lot of pass lanes that were opening up the shooting lanes, and that's pretty much how UGA was able to win 9-0. A couple skirmishes towards the end. I think Georgia Tech got a little frustrated, but other than that, so the Gladiators game, I think they were down 2-0 after 1. Then it was 2-2 after the second, and then they score 2 in the 4th. Gustav Grigals, who had 39 saves and did everything in the world to keep this team in it. He definitely got some help from his defense, but Grigals, I hope the longer he stays in Atlanta, the better this team is going to do, because his backup is Tyler Harmon, who is a starter on any team in the league. We have 2 starters, and that's our first and second goalie. And I could get into your third and fourth goalie, and they're starters too. The goaltending in Atlanta is just through the roof. Michael Marchessault, though, he is one that you're going to hear from later in this show, because he scored his first overall goal. Did a great job. First overall goal of the season. And like I said, you're going to hear from him, because the clips you're going to see at the end of this show are from the press conference just outside the locker room at Gas South Arena. Those are fun. I love press conferences, man, because you don't know what you're going to get. You don't, even when you know the people, you never know where the conversation is going to go. And I think between all the reporters, we asked some really good questions, and really got some good answers from the guys. It was Michael Marchessault, and it was Jack Mateer, who ended up with 2 goals on the night. I think he started with 1 goal this year. Then he scored his second goal in this game. Then he scored his third goal of the year in this game. He ended up being the first star. Michael Marchessault was the second star. We're not even Vitelli, who scored the other goal in this one. That's all 4 goals. I was prepared to talk to him until Mateer had the day that he did. I really thought we'd get Marchessault, and I really thought we'd get Vitelli. That means Vitelli, we're going to get you another time, because this game was electric. And for them to just pull ahead and just keep their foot on the gas and keep South Carolina just on their back heels. They knew. You'll hear in some of these clips, I believe it might have been Marchessault that said They knew coming in that South Carolina has really big first periods, and if they could survive the storm, weather that storm, that they felt like that they could beat them in the second and third period, and that was going to even out the game for them. And that's pretty much how that ended up. Pretty much how that ended up. Upcoming schedule, let's see, there we go. Upcoming schedule I think they had a game today. I need to find the score on that one. I haven't seen it, but I know they had a day game coming up. Where all the kiddos get to come to that one. It's like a 10:30 puck drop. Those are so much fun. I just unfortunately was nowhere near the arena to stop by and see that one. But this weekend they will pay South Carolina a visit as they will face the Stingrays on Friday. Puck drop is at 7:05. That is at the North Charleston Coliseum. On Saturday, they will be in Jacksonville to face the Icemen. They're still undefeated, guys. Not sure who's going to put that first L on the board, but I feel sorry for whoever they play afterwards. But on Saturday, puck drop is going to be at 7 p.m. They're in Jacksonville. That is the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. What a great place to be in a Veterans Memorial Arena on Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. We couldn't do it without you guys, and I salute you and thank you for your service. Every time I see anybody I know that served, that's the first words out of my mouth, and I'm just appreciative. But those are the games coming up between now and the next time we will do a show. Next home game. Actually, this is the one I was talking about. Okay, it wasn't today. The next home game is going to be next Tuesday at 10:30 at the Gas South Arena, 10:30 in the morning. The Greenville Swamp Rabbits are going to be in town. Those are always fun. The Gladiators are my team. I like the Swamp Rabbits players. Some of the players, definitely like their logo, the colors and stuff like that. Don't worry, I'm still a Glads fan all the way through, but I definitely respect the Swamp Rabbits more than I do a lot of the other teams in the division, and I respect them all. I have no problems with anybody in the league. I look forward to working with more of them in the near future with some different stuff we have coming up. But also Greenville and Atlanta, that I-85 rivalry, that's one of my favorites. But that one's going to be next Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday. And we'll talk more about that one on the next board check. But as I said, we've reached the end of the show. Appreciate all you guys who allow us to come on each and every week and talk Gladiators, Predators, and Hurricanes. A little NHL thrown in tonight. Once again, very appreciative of Gladiators for the media credential to come hang out in the booth and get a really unique perspective. And they know they're going to see us more this year. We're definitely going to see you guys. It was nice getting to talk to some of you guys. I gave a shout out to her on the others on Hootie Who, the PA announcer Amy at KSU, who is in the booth with me when I'm doing the play-by-play for KSU. People who watch the show who don't know, I am the play-by-play voice on YouTube of KSU for their home games, possibly some away games, and her and her other half her amazing other half were at the game, was able to meet up with them, was able to say hello and talk shop a little bit. They are big Gladiator fans. It was fantastic getting to we talk Kennesaw all the time. It was fun getting to talk about the Gladiators as well. And stay tuned to all the stuff that we do. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up between our Kennesaw stuff with Hootie Who and also BoardCheck with a lot of fun things we're going to do. Like I said, you're going to start seeing some other faces other than this pretty face. I promise you. I'm going to still be on the show, but we're going to see some guests in here, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But after I sign off on this show, you will be greeted by the press conferences for Marchesson and Mateer from the Atlanta Gladiators post game. Hope you guys enjoy those. And until then, go Canes, go Glads, go Preds, go watch hockey. We'll see you guys next week. Deuces, gooses.
The game winner, take me through both of them.
I think it was just getting pucks through to the net. We had bodies in front, just good passes to me, and was able to bury them.
The Gladiators are 6-0-0. What's working so well?
I think just our work ethic every game, really not giving up throughout the game, and even if we're down a goal, we know what we have to do. So just execution.
Felt like you guys kind of turned up the defense a notch there in the second and third period. What do you think helped get that going?
I think just discussions in the room, and like I said, knowing what we have to do and going out there and executing it. Just buying in to our systems, everyone, and that's what worked for us.
Yeah, it seemed like South Carolina come out with a different game plan tonight. Seemed to be a little more aggressive than even they're used to playing. What kind of adjustments were you guys looking at?
You know what? I think we weren't so worried about them. Just knowing what we had to do. They played a really good game. Their goalie played really good. So just worrying about what we had to do and going out there and executing it. It's been a long week, a lot of games. So just bearing down.
Last question. 3 straight games in which you enter the third period in a tie game and you come out with the win. Why have things been so tight through 40 minutes, and how has the team been able to open up in the final?
Just, I think, resilience throughout the game. We know the talent that we have in the room and the coaching staff that we have, and we're confident with our team. So,
Jack, thank you for taking the time.
thank you.
You got it, William?
3, 2, 1. Mike, score your first professional goal tonight. Take me through it.
It was a good play by Cranny. I was just high guy, and then we had Pearson drive the net, and luckily it went in.
The team is off to a 6-0-0 start. What is working so well?
We moved pucks north really quick, and we had great third periods. I think that's what's really helped us so far. We got good stamina, kind of a wagon.
3 straight games to where you enter the third period with a tie score and you come out with the victory. What does that say about your team?
We're resilient. We don't back down. We keep coming, and we got good stamina.
So what was going through your mind when you scored? Like, I asked Jack what happened on his first goal. He said he blacked out, so I want to know what you
it's the
said.
same thing. It's just a blackout. I looked at, there's a cool picture. I have no idea what I was doing either. It's pretty special moment.
I guess I would just add that what's it like being on that line with the line mates you have there?
I love it. They're great. Cranny's a great player. They have a lot of poise, and they play at high levels too, so it's easy to play with them. Just get along. Great talkers, so it's very easy.
And just bouncing off of that last question, it seems like that third line is really as good defensively as you guys are offensively. Well, how do you guys work so well in your own zone?
We just try to create energy, really, and Nezzy's been adamant on it about our D zone. Offense starts in the D zone, and he's been right so far. Right? So we just start there.
What makes South Carolina such a difficult team to play against? Did you notice the physicality right from the jump? Because they came to play after the second half of a back-to-back.
Yeah. I thought they'd have a little more bus-like, but they're flying. We heard that they always have good first periods, so we had to weather the storm there. And they had some good power plays, and that was a struggle too. But I think 5-on-5 were better than that.
Mike, thank you for the time.
I appreciate it.